All right, this is just getting out of hand.
You got a gun to me, bro. You ain't even got your stun gun out. He ready, look. Look at him, he ready as hell.
But hey, thank God for the Cincinnati Police Department. Because if we didn't have juiced up, jacked up agents like this, and super calm Mr. Rogers type de-escalation sergeants like this, I imagine things would be a lot worse for the people of Cincinnati. And speaking of natty, this midget Ronnie Coleman wannabe ain't looking too natty natural with those 21-inch arms and tree trunk legs on that 5'6" frame. Now, before we get into this, what I call police escalation video, let me give you the end from the beginning, just so you're aware of what the Cincinnati Police Department has to say about this incident. We'll start with this Cincinnati police spokesman.
The restraint that those officers shown was remarkable. That officer waited calmly for backup, continuing to tell this person to put their hands behind their back. I mean, did it dozens of times. You know, if he were going to escalate the situation, he would have just thrown that citizen out of the way and began this physical confrontation, but that's not what happened.
Cincinnati police says on their website, let's unpack this video. And that's something police are really good at. Unpacking your stuff as they rifle through your belongings at unconstitutional traffic stops. This sergeant was working Government Square to provide security for a bus stop that is well known for open-air drug sales, violent behavior, and many who carry firearms. As the sergeant attempts to address a subject who is engaging in criminal behavior, the subject immediately becomes hostile and threatening the officer. Hey, they just said they were going to unpack the video. They didn't say they were going to do it using proper sentence structure. The subject's family and friends attempt to intervene, putting the sergeant at a tactical disadvantage. Honestly, it doesn't look like the sergeant considered anything to be a tactical disadvantage because he was operating 100% on ego. The sergeant radios for backup arrives, and the non-compliant subject resists arrest. After being maced and tased, multiple officers are able to make an arrest. Now, let's go to the officer who has a firearm drawn in a low ready position, not pointed at anyone. This officer is in a rear guard position to protect the backs of the officers who are engaging in a subject who is violently resisting arrest. At no time was the firearm pointed at any person. Can we talk about the fact that there was absolutely no reason for the gun to be pulled out in public in the first place? No other cop has his drawn gun on the entire scene. Finally, the restraint shown was remarkable. These officers should be applauded for trying to make Government Square, an already violent place, a little bit safer. My question is, will the city administration and the police administration support officers who are doing proactive work to make Cincinnati safer? Well, my question is, how do you create a safer, more violent-free city by adding violence to a situation that wasn't violent to begin with? So CPD claims that the guy with the IHOP shirt, that's Johnny Taylor, who's probably just getting by trying to put smiles on people's plates, was, quote, engaged in criminal behavior, and that, quote, the subject, that's Johnny, immediately becomes hostile and threatens the officer. See, the interesting thing is that according to CPD records, Johnny was only charged with obstructing and resisting arrest. What exactly was the criminal behavior Johnny was supposedly engaged in that would give Officer Ego here the probable cause to walk up to Johnny and try to tase him in the first place? CPD mentions in a follow-up Facebook post where they include this video, Mr. Eddie Lee says, "We weren't doing anything." By the way, this is Eddie in the black shirt standing around, clearly not doing anything. Eddie's the one who records this video. CPD says this video captured the behavior of those involved just prior to their encounter with the police. It clearly shows what the officer observed: a group of people hanging out, smoking marijuana, mixing and drinking alcoholic beverages, both violations of the law. This entire encounter could have been avoided if people would quit breaking the law. What's interesting about this, other than the fact that CPD has a 7th grader writing their Facebook posts, is that the guy who looks like he might have been mixing drinks, what a dastardly crime that is, was the only one of the supposed wrongdoers who didn't get arrested. Both Johnny Taylor, who just wants to go to work, flip some pancakes, and put smiles on faces, and Eddie Lee, without whom we wouldn't have this ridiculous display of violence by the possibly roided goons of the Cincinnati Police Department, were both arrested. I mean, look at this video. Prior to the police showing up, you had about 9, maybe 10 or 11 people in the foreground just hanging out, getting along, going about their day, and waiting for a bus. Things were peaceful. Things were calm. There was no violence. Just a bunch of people standing around and waiting. And peace. Lots of peace. Then the good old Cincinnati Police Department showed up. And let's just say the peace disappeared like the hope of justice and transparency in a federal courtroom. You got to ask yourself while you watch this video, what could Johnny possibly have done to provoke this level of aggressive response? And from a sergeant, no less. Just so we're clear, this guy was the one supposedly mixing drinks on the bench. They say Johnny was smoking weed, but there's no evidence for that, and it wasn't in the report. By the way, it's obvious that this sergeant, who looks like he's 8 to 10 inches taller than Johnny, is all caught up in his ego and isn't used to anybody challenging and standing up to him.
Come on, man, stop. Come on, man, stop this shit. Come on, Johnny, stop, bro. Stop, man. Hey, man, get up. Come on, man. Come up, man.
At this point, Johnny's like, a man can't even get to work and put smiles on people's faces anymore without getting harassed by these badged tyrants.
Hey, man, you ain't got to pepper. You ain't got to do that shit, bro. You ain't got to do that, bro. You ain't got to do that, bro. Man, y'all ain't got to do that shit, man. Get your fucking front. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Get your sword. Put your hands behind your back. Behind your back now. Get your sword. Hey, man. Hey, he ain't got no gun, bro. Hey, he ain't got no gun, bro.
In my opinion, it is so unreasonable to tell a man to put his hands behind his back when his eyes and face are burning from the mace you just sprayed at him. Now here comes the city's bodybuilding Ninja Turtle on the scene. And I'm telling you guys, this guy should be drug tested.
He ain't got no gun. He ain't got no gun, though. He ain't got no gun. For what? I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing. I'm backing up, bro. I'm backing up, sir. I'm backing up. Back up. I'm all the way back. You keep on backing up. You keep walking to me. I ain't did shit. Look at this nigga, man. Ain't nobody about to do nothing, man. Ain't nobody got no gun or nothing. Man, put your gun down, bro. You ain't got no gun. Come on, man. That's my people, man. Look what y'all doing, bro. He ain't did shit. It's your officer, man. He ain't did nothing. What you gonna sue me or something? I ain't got no gun. You got a gun to me, bro. You got a gun to me, bro. You ain't even got your stun gun out. He ready. Look at him. He ready as hell. Hey, you can't block me, bro. You can't block me. You can't block me, bro. I ain't doing shit to you. I don't know why you keep on walking on me. Look, he ready to do something to me. I ain't doing shit to you. I ain't did nothing. Don't matter, man. I didn't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. I've been backing up. Come on, man. I ain't did shit. I know.
And that's where we lose our cameraman, Eddie Lee. Eddie was charged with obstructing official business according to Hamilton County court records, which is a second-degree misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail.
It happened June 1st on Government Square as Johnny Taylor and friend Eddie Lee were standing near the bus stop. Lee, who shot the video, says before he hit record, an officer had accused the pair of smoking weed, which he claims wasn't true.
No one person was being blamed about their activity. It was just as a whole, this is what is collectively being done. You all need to stop. He said it was a civil conversation, or at least was intended to be a civil conversation.
The Cincinnati FOP released video showing that scene.
The video that I posted shows what was leading up to it, which was a gentleman sitting on the bench making a mixed drink of alcohol, people smoking marijuana, which is what led to the whole interaction to begin with.
According to Ohio law, smoking and possessing open alcoholic beverages in public spaces are not permitted.
I'll leave the link to the Cincinnati Facebook page in the description if you want to weigh in on this issue. We need the sergeant's name and the names of the other officers. This is O. Smith, badge number P432. Leave your thoughts about this in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.